David Beckham appeared to show Brooklyn how it's really done with a confident cooking clip from Doha, a quiet reminder of experience and authority. Brooklyn Beckham has already removed the dad tattoo he once dedicated to his father, turning a permanent symbol of pride into a lasting statement of distance. And when you place those moments side by side, they reveal a family feud that has moved far beyond words and into permanent action. While Brooklyn Beckham has been making headlines for distancing himself from his famous family, David Beckham quietly dropped a moment that instantly reignited the conversation. Filmed in Doha, the clip showed David relaxed, smiling and confidently cooking in a professional kitchen, a subtle but striking contrast to the chaos surrounding his eldest son. No words, no commentary, just David doing what he does best and letting the visuals speak. The timing alone raised eyebrows. Brooklyn has spent years carefully crafting a public image as a food-focused creative, regularly sharing cooking clips online. Yet here was David effortlessly stepping into that same space, surrounded by chefs, handling an open flame and clearly in his element. To fans watching closely, it felt symbolic, a silent reminder of legacy, experience and authority, dropped right in the middle of an already volatile family moment. But the tension didn't stop there. Around the same time, new images of Brooklyn surfaced in Los Angeles that sparked intense reaction online. Observers noticed that his large anchor tattoo, once featuring the word dad and a personal message tied directly to David, appeared altered. The lettering was no longer clearly visible. The change was subtle but unmistakable. For a family known for deeply personal tattoos honouring one another, this wasn't just cosmetic. It landed as emotional punctuation. David, notably, still carries Brooklyn's nickname tattooed on his own body. The imbalance hasn't gone unnoticed. Fans and commentators alike saw Brooklyn's decision as one of the most tangible signs yet that the rift isn't cooling, it's hardening. At the same time, Brooklyn and Nicola Peltz have been living a life far removed from the Beckham family orbit. Their days in Los Angeles have been marked by luxury homes, high-end travel and five-star hotel stays. The lifestyle shift has been dramatic. Brooklyn's social media now offers glimpses of expansive interiors, designer wardrobes and a pace of life that feels firmly rooted in Nicola's world rather than the one he grew up in. And that matters, because it's shaping how this story is unfolding. Behind the scenes, discussions continue around unreleased wedding footage from Brooklyn and Nicola's lavish Florida ceremony. The material, filmed extensively, includes moments that have already caused friction within the family, particularly surrounding the wedding dance that Brooklyn has openly described as humiliating. Streaming platforms are reportedly circling, aware that any project involving the Beckham name instantly commands global attention. The potential price tag being whispered is enormous. Tens of millions, enough to change the dynamics of this feud permanently. For Victoria Beckham, this is where the stakes become personal. Those close to the situation suggest she fears not just embarrassment, but a public reopening of wounds the family has tried to keep contained. A documentary anchored around unseen wedding footage wouldn't just tell Brooklyn's side, it would replay it frame by frame for the world. Meanwhile, Brooklyn has made his position clear. He has said he wants peace, privacy and distance. Yet every move, from tattoos to social posts to possible media deals, keeps pulling the story back into the spotlight. And then there's David in Doha, calm, silent, cooking, no rebuttal, no defence, just presence. In a feud driven by words, statements and accusations, that quiet moment may have said more than anything else so far. And as the distance between father and son grows, geographically, emotionally, symbolically, one question now hangs over everything. What happens if that wedding footage really does come out? If that footage does surface, it won't just be another celebrity documentary. It could fundamentally reshape how the public sees the Beckham family dynamic. The reason is simple. The Beckhams have spent decades carefully managing their image as a united, supportive, tightly bonded family. From red carpets to social media milestones, the narrative has always been consistency and control. A long-form project centred on Brooklyn and Nicola, especially one that revisits their wedding and the moments Brooklyn has already described as painful, would challenge that image in a way no interview ever could. And that's exactly why the situation feels so tense right now. Brooklyn, for his part, appears to be building a life that is intentionally separate from his parents' world. His days in Los Angeles are no longer about football stadiums, fashion weeks, or carefully choreographed family appearances. Instead, they're filled with private chefs, luxury getaways, and a social circle closely tied to Nicola's billionaire family. The contrast between Brooklyn's current lifestyle and his upbringing inside Brand Beckham couldn't be sharper. That shift has also changed the power balance. For the first time, Brooklyn doesn't rely on his parents' platform, network, or financial backing. That independence, emotional and practical, is what makes the current standoff feel so final. He's no longer the son orbiting his parents' brand. He's a husband aligned with a different dynasty entirely, and yet the emotional threads remain tangled. David's cooking clip in Doha wasn't flashy. It wasn't confrontational, but coming just days after Brooklyn's tattoo alteration became public, many viewers saw it as quietly defiant. Now, David didn't address the feud, he didn't acknowledge the pain, he simply carried on, confident, composed, and visibly supported by those around him. To longtime fans, it looked like resilience. To others, it looked like distance. Victoria, meanwhile, has remained publicly silent, but her silence has been filled with meaning. She continues to present unity with her other children, attending events together and maintaining the polished public front she's known for. Privately, however, those close to the family suggest the ongoing uncertainty is taking a toll. The idea that deeply personal wedding footage could be repurposed into a global streaming project is not just uncomfortable, it's destabilising. What makes this moment especially volatile is that nothing has been finalised. No contracts have been signed, no cameras are rolling yet. Brooklyn and Nicola are reportedly weighing the long-term consequences carefully, aware that once a documentary is released, there's no pulling it back. Whatever story is told becomes permanent. And permanent stories have a way of freezing relationships in time. That's the crossroads this family now stands at. Brooklyn has drawn a line through ink, distance, and words. David has responded with restraint and symbolism. Victoria is caught between wanting reconciliation and fearing public fallout. And Nicola, standing firmly beside her husband, represents both stability for Brooklyn and a clear departure from his past. For now, the feud continues in fragments. A tattoo here, a video clip there, a silence that speaks louder than statements. But with streaming platforms circling and private moments inching closer to becoming public property, the next chapter may not be written by the Beckhams themselves. It may be edited, packaged, and released for the world to judge. And when that happens, this won't just be a family dispute anymore. It will be a legacy moment. One that could define how this story is remembered long after the headlines fade.